So 2K released the Faze Clan gear in the most recent patch update in 2K22. And today I want to talk about if this edition is a good idea or not for the future of the franchise. Let's have a conversation. So when we got patch 1.14 for 2K22, there were a few updates and it wasn't the big patch update that a lot of us out there wanted. And one thing they did add in and promoted was going to be the free Faze Clan gear, the attires, the hats, shirts, sweaters that you can use in creations. So for a lot of people that may not know and may be wondering, what the heck is Faze Clan and why do I care? Faze Clan is very well known in the world of esports. They started back in 2010 and features 9 competitive teams across multiple facets of esports gaming like PUBG, Call of Duty, and Valorant. And so when it comes to the game, when it comes to 2K22, they added in 14 different pieces of gear that you can use for exhibition, for My Rise, just for any of your creations, alternate attires for existing stars. Another interesting little wrinkle on all of this is the board of directors, because WWE has a presence on the board as well. Stephanie McMahon is on the board of directors for Faze Clan. So we can now make sense of why this partnership happened. So it's great for Faze Clan. It's great for them to be able to promote, market. It's another little add-on for 2K to say, hey, we're working with these brands. Come and check out this content. Slap on a shirt, it's marketing, right? Now, when they went live with this at the time of the patch, Faze Clan tweeted it out, 2K tweeted it out, telling fans to be able to go represent them and put on their gear. You can try it out in the game. Some fans and some people in the community on Twitter specifically were confused by it because even the promo ad, it's showing a boxing ring, it's not even showing a wrestling ring. And you can imagine too that a lot of the feedback and what fans were saying online in response to this coming out was a lot of negativity. It's shocking on the internet, I know. But a lot of people were taken back and not happy with this move because it was, why aren't you fixing the game? Why aren't you correcting things in universe mode? GM, hairs and cosmetics are being patched out of the game. They need to be patched in. There's bigger issues than just adding in additional free gear through a promotion. It's not what a lot of fans wanted to hear and wanted to see from 2K. And that includes me. I want them to come out at the forefront and say, here's what we're patching, here's what we're working on fixing, or acknowledge the community to say, we hear you and here are the things we are working towards. Now, this can look like such a silly little thing, right? This could be like, why are we talking about little cosmetics and t-shirts and hats? Who cares? Move on with your day, sir. It doesn't matter. Just don't use it. I understand that. But why I wanted to pull this apart a little bit is because I want to talk about whether it's a good idea or bad idea in your opinion, and for the future of this franchise under 2K, because this is the first time that we are seeing this happen. This is why we are doing this show. This is the first time that an esports team, that somebody from the outside that I can remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the first time we are seeing attires and more marketing from third parties coming into the game and 2K actively promoting it. Because I'll be honest, I really would have wished we got like Cody Rhodes attire, superstar attire, and not some esports group. No offense to them, but that's got nothing to do with the game and with wrestling. Could this mean that we see more brands working with 2K, with WWE, and getting more logos, shirts, tires, those pieces put into community creations in the future? Possibly even with this year's game and with 2K23. It's interesting to see where the community, the larger fan base sits with this, because on one hand, it can be a great idea for promotion, for brand awareness, for creators, streamers, gamers, being able to get themselves out there a little bit more in front of a larger audience. So in that regard, it's kind of cool. But where I think a lot of people are having an issue with it on the other side of the coin and why it's a bad idea is because there are larger things at play that need to be fixed ahead of making these marketing moves. They're kind of, in my opinion, they're kind of separate, because these brand deals, these marketing moves, they're going to be done on their own, and then they need to be just slotted and they're going to be marked out to be, say, we're going to put them in the game at this time and boom, here we go. It has nothing to do with the fixes that need to happen. But from casual fans' perspective, from people that are playing the game, even myself, are like, I don't need this. I need fixes. I need the game to work. I don't care about your attires. And that's the other side of the coin. BDE, or Brandon Does Everything, he was on Twitter when this launched, and he put out a tweet with a poll attached to it to get fan feedback of how they thought about it, and I thought it was an interesting one we could break down too. Brandon tweeted out and said, genuinely curious, if WWE Games had a future DLC pack for content creators like Chris, Vibe, Pulse, etc., would you buy it? And he had over 7,000 votes. and 52% of the votes said yes, and 47% said no. Now, this is a very small sample size, and it's within the YouTube community, people that are already fans of their work, and with other creators like DankOps and Pulse, Vibe, and everybody like that. And I think the wording in Brandon's tweet, maybe it was not really what he was trying to mean by it, because when I hear you want to see future DLC content, you think of stars or like them specifically in the game, like a DankOps or a Brandon in the game with the model. I don't know necessarily if that's what he meant. If he means more along the lines of what Faze Clan has done here with 2K and just bringing in their logos, the Vibe logo, Brandon's logo, things like that. What do you think about all of that? Do you care, and do you think that that's a good move or a bad move? I can see 2K doing that. They have the big 2K Next Makers program. I think that they could easily go down that path of including attires and logos and putting them into the game. Now, I do know that we could sit here and say, hey, wait, you can just upload your own attires, your own images, your artwork and things like that to put them on logos and put them on the game in hats and t-shirts. Who cares? I don't need a DLC pack or an add-on pack from creators or esports teams and so on. And that's very true. And that's kind of the crux of this, right? Is putting attention and focus and energy from the company on these things and marketing this to a large audience. But it does give good exposure for YouTubers, creators, streamers to have 2K lift it up and push it out there so that fans can get the authentic logos put in the game as long as it's made free. It's not hurting anybody in that regard. But it's an interesting path that 2K can be going down and looks to be going down in the future. The more deals that they work out with other companies, with creators, with streamers and esports brands, it boosts their awareness. It might get some players to download more creations, turn on the game more often because they recognize certain content creators and brands and they're in the game. I'd also wonder if they would do more of that when it comes to just the other franchises like the NBA franchise that they have. So from a marketing perspective, I get it, and it's a good idea in that regard, but I think again, where fans are having trouble with this and these announcements coming out by 2K is that it's not what they want to hear right now. If the game was in a fantastic state, because it's not, you'd be surprised. Maybe you're surprised by me saying that because you're saying you're just a little fanboy, but it's not in a great state. And I've said that on previous shows. There's good and there's bad. Universe mode has a lot of problems. Stuff's still buggy. The amount of people that report crashes happening in the game still to this day, it's not right. And so I think where frustration comes in is fans get up in arms when they see the stuff posted and they see it online and they get irritated the fact that they're not addressing core issues. They'd rather be spending time and energy on marketing this stuff. And so if the game was in a really healthy state, if people were saying that this is the best one in years, this is better than 2K19, I think the tune and the tone from fans and the community out there at large would be a little bit more in favor of it. But that's just my perspective and my opinion. I do wonder if 2K will go down this path though with creators like Brandon, for example, from Brandon Does Everything, because he's huge with 2K and the guys at Vibe, and they all work with 2K for, you know, the early access, the previews, those things with the Next Maker program. I do wonder if we will start to see this stuff roll out potentially for 2K23. So is it a good idea or is it a bad idea if 2K goes down this path with the future wrestling games? That's where I need to know your feedback in the comments, and hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this episode. Plus, we've got more 2K coverage coming at you right here, and I'll see you on the next episode.